Take control of your finances. Gain insights from top industry professionals. Financial topics that matter to you from your go-to resource. This is Right on the Money with your host, Dennis Mattern.
Hello and welcome to Right on the Money, the show that features financial advisors, insurance professionals, and fiduciaries who discuss financial topics that empower you to take control of your finances. I'm your host, Dennis Mattern. We're so glad you've taken time out of your day to spend with us. And before we get started, I want to remind you, remember that you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and you can start the conversation by using the hashtag ROTM. You can also watch full episodes of RightOnTheMoneyShow.com. Now, today I'm pleased to be joined by my friend Bob Duchin, owner and operator of Robert J. Duchin and Associates Limited. Bob, it is great to have you here with us today.
Thank you, Dennis.
Now, for a lot of folks that don't know, you traveled to Kansas City from?
Pittsburgh. We have a home in Pittsburgh as well as West Palm Beach, which is about 45 minutes from my actual home, which is Port St. Lucie. So we have a home in Florida as well as Pittsburgh.
Now, before we get started, I do have to address something. Right today, I know you've got that rough gravel in your throat, but a little under the weather?
Caught a little bit of laryngitis the other day, so I'm much better than I was, so I'm going to do my best for you.
All right, what a trooper. You, sir, are a trooper. Well, let's talk a little bit about you and your practice. Now, you're a good-looking guy, and I think a lot of people would be surprised to know how long you've been in the business.
Well, I've been in the business past June 1st, 47 years.
47.
And this is all I've ever done out of college. And I just enjoy it so much in helping people, working. And I just turned age 69, and I have no desire to retire, walk away from this business, because when you enjoy what you're doing, it's hard to move away.
Well, tell me a little bit. So 47 years, that means that you've seen some dramatic shifts, not only in products, but theory, in technology, and really culturally. So I know I just laid a lot out there, but tell me a little bit about what you've seen over your practice.
Well, a couple of things. When I started in the business back in 1970, I started with a lot of young doctors. I started working with medical students and residents and would sell them life insurance and disability. And as they grew in their practice, if I did my job, they stayed with me. Probably about 90 to 95% of every physician I've worked with is still my client. Wow. And that shows me as far as a servicing orientated type person. I want to make sure my clients are happy. I want to make sure they understand their products and why they can help them in the future. I've had many claims as far as life insurance death benefits, disability claims. In fact, my son-in-law, a chiropractor, very successful, 41 years old, had an injury, and because he purchased disability from me, he's well taken care of for a number of years. That's my own son-in-law.
Wow.
And I've had death claims, and I'll never forget one of my death claims when I went to the funeral, and the spouse comes up to me and says, Bob, I want you to know, you see all these people at this funeral home, my family and friends, you're the most important person here. And that, of course, gave me some tears and hugs, and because I delivered a pretty nice check that she doesn't have to work anymore. The check is tax-free, and her kids will go to college because of what I did, and that made me feel good. Yes, I made a couple of dollars, but to deliver the amount of money I did to that family tax-free made me feel so good when I walked away from that funeral home.
To take something that is a tragic situation and actually be able to provide.
Absolutely. But the key to my business is relationships and working diligently to make sure they have the right products for their situation. I've never, ever recommended anything to anybody that I wouldn't know in their situation.
So you mentioned that you got into the industry, into the financial services industry of helping people right out of college. What led you in? What was the attraction? What brought you in?
Well, it was funny because as I graduated with a business degree from college in Pittsburgh, I saw an ad in the paper for a management trainee. And I guess everybody says, boy, management sounds good. Mm-hmm. And I was in management for about a year or two, and then I decided this wasn't for me. I wanted to only look in the mirror and look at myself only. I didn't want to work with some other agent. So I went into my own business and worked with another couple of insurance companies that I represented, and built my practice up to where it is today.
Let's talk about your practice. So first and foremost, if I wanted to get a hold of you, if I want to come see you, How do I do that?
So I do work many, many evenings.
So you actually make financial house calls.
Absolutely, absolutely. I do have some come to my office if they're off that day or in the evening. But for 47 years, I've worked. You know, when you're dedicated to what you do, time doesn't mean a thing to me. This is honest to God's truth, Dennis, I once had a 3:30 in the morning appointment.
Wow.
The doctor was on call, and he says, Bob, I'm heading to the airport about 6 o'clock, and I'll be gone for a couple of weeks, but I need to talk to you. I got to the hospital at 3:30, and I had that appointment. That's honest to God's truth.
That is an amazing story. So I hate to say this, but we are at the end of our segment time here. But what we're going to do when we come back, so coming up on Right on the Money, Bob and I are going to discuss his new book, Sleep Well at Night. We're going to dive into that. It is an amazing book. And then later, we're going to look at the different phases of retirement, how Bob will help us walk that path from saving all the way to the spending in retirement. So you don't want to miss that. So we'll see you on the other side of the break.